Hi everyone, let me introduce myself and welcome you to my farming reality show. My name is Ken Noob and this farm has been in our family for 5 generations. That's right, 5 generations of noobs have worked these fields and built our farms into a little slice of heaven on earth. Welcome to my hometown, Goldcrest Valley. I was born here, raised here, and most likely I will die here. But not before I take you on adventures on the farm. You want cows? We'll raise them. You want amber waves of grain? Well, we will plow, fertilize, and harvest them. We may even devote a day to looking back at some of Grandpa's old equipment. I don't mean his dentures. So pull up that milk bucket, sit on down, and stay a bit. Who knows, before the day is done, you might just be milking old Betsy. But keep an eye out, she's a little frisky. Hey everyone, this is Ken Noob, and welcome to the Noob Family Farm. Today we're going to go over the basic steps we take to keep this farm running smoothly. That helps to keep the crops growing. We're going to drive on over to our first field here, and we'll take a look and get started on what we need to do. First thing we need to do is to cultivate the field. So why do we cultivate the soil? Well, nature takes a toll on the soil as the elements actively dry it into a crust. Cultivating helps to break up the crusty soil surface, allowing for much easier penetration of air, nutrients, and water deep into the soil. Alright, well, we will hook up the cultivator to the tractor and we will go ahead and cultivate this field. This is field number 14. You can see it does a nice little tilling of the land and cultivates that the old growth into the soil, giving a little bit of nutrients as well. So we'll just go ahead and now, when you're operating the tractor, you want to make sure that you always, once you get to the end of the row, you go ahead and lift the cultivator up and then bring it back down so you're not cultivating things that we don't want to be cultivated. Well, as you can see, this can be a time-consuming, monotonous task. So we'll go ahead and speed things up a bit through the magic of video editing. So instead of taking roughly 15-20 minutes to cultivate the field, we'll bring it down to a sizable few minutes. As you can see, cultivating leaves a nice, clean field of soil that's ready to be sowed. Now, sowing the seeds, that will be our next task. Alright, well, we have finished cultivating this field. Go ahead and take the cultivator over into the storage area. And then we can move on to sowing the field that's already been cultivated. Get it all planted and starting to grow. Alright, well, the next task we're going to be taking on is sowing the field. Of course, sowing is what we do in order to get the seeds into the ground. It'll also fertilize at the same time. Now, we do have a cultivator and sower all in one that is sold at the equipment store. That is something we can definitely look into as we get the funds to do so. But for now, we'll go ahead. We'll lower the sower, turn her on, and start sowing this field. Yeah, the tractor we're using here is a little bit smaller than the blue tractors. It's not quite as much horsepower, but it's definitely enough to take care of this job. Now, throughout the course of our adventures here on the farm, I'll probably be hiring staff in order to do these tasks. Then we'll work on such things as the cows and the pigs and sheep, and making sure that their living areas are clean and that they have the food, water, and nutrients that they're going to need. As you can see, this sower is a small one, so it does take quite a length of time in order to complete this field. So we'll speed things up here. Everything will be done in a short matter of time. Now, if you do ever want me to go through the full extent of sowing or cultivating a field, just let me know. Future episodes, we might just do that. Completely sow an entire field, which each of the new pieces of equipment as we obtain them. That way we can see the difference as far as the time that it takes to cultivate using the various pieces of equipment that we can purchase. Obviously, some are going to take less time than others. If we can find that optimal piece of equipment that saves us both time and money, well, we'll use it. Alright, well, we're finishing up the sowing of this field. And we'll go ahead and move our equipment back over to its storage area. Now, one thing you might note is we did go through a lot of seed. We've got about 192 pounds left in the seed sower. So we'll go ahead and back on over here and fill up the fertilizer and fill up the seeds. Now we've opened up the top of the sower. Then we'll back in and go ahead and fill up the seeds and the fertilizer. Well, we ran out of seeds in that area. I'll go ahead and see if we can back up. Yeah, well, Grandpa left me this farm not too long ago, so I'm still learning the ropes, as you can see. Still running over stuff and backing into stuff and still trying to figure out just which direction is forward and which one is back on this tractor. There we go. Go ahead and finish filling up the seeds. Close the lid on the sower, and we can back it up into the storage area. Alright, well, the final task for today that we have is we're going to go ahead and harvest this field of grain that Grandpa left us growing. Now, the harvester that we're using, it can harvest soy, also wheat, which is what we're harvesting here today, and canola as well. If we want to harvest corn or sunflower, well, we do need a different attachment for the harvester in order to do that, but those can also be purchased and obtained. Get a nice view of the wheat as it's going into the harvester. We'll get one more row down here and then we'll speed things up through the magic of television and video editing. Yeah, harvesting is one of the final steps. Of course, then we'll load the wheat into the trailer and take it over to the silos. The silo will be used to store it temporarily until we find a good price for it. Alright, we've gone ahead and we've finished the harvesting of this field. As you see, there is the rows of buildup there is actually straw. Next couple days we will gather up that straw, sell some of it, and then also move some over and give the pigs some bedding. We'll also purchase some pigs and get their area all set up and ready to go. Alright, we've filled up the trailer, and we'll go ahead and take the trailer over to the silo and dump it into the silo for storage. Go up here slowly so we don't lose any of the grain. Now this trailer will hold about 8,000 pounds of grain, so the field's a little bit more than that. It's about 12,000. So we'll go ahead and unload this final one. We'll park the tractor and the trailer, head back over to the harvester, and we can put it away for the season until we need to get it back out and harvest again. So we've kind of gone over the three main areas that we have for the crops, which is the cultivating, the sowing, and the harvesting. Of course, there are others items that have to be other tasks that have to be done around the farm, which include fertilizing, plowing, of course, gathering up the straw. And we also have to consider rotation of the crops. And then we have to gather chicken eggs, and then also care for our livestock as well. Alright, we'll go ahead and get this tractor parked. I sure hope you have enjoyed the episode today. We will be taking care of some of these other items, such as the fertilizing, plowing, etc., in our future endeavors. But until then, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Farming with the Noobs. Make sure you subscribe and like the channel. Let me know what you would like to see in future episodes of Farming with the Noobs, and we'll see you then.